type of crisis that we have today. The other huge change we have to manage is how do we mobilize the capital? Because a lot of the things we need to do, they will pay for themselves. Having a more energy efficient home does pay for itself. Switching to an electric vehicle will pay for itself over the lifetime of the vehicle. But mobilizing that capital is going to be a big challenge. And I think the estimate is that over the extended period, you're probably talking about 1.5% of GDP each year to be added on in climate investments. That's a significant amount of money that would have to be funded. And we have to work with sectors, with communities, to see how can we leverage the change, how can we make it easier for people to fund the sort of changes that are necessary. At the moment, as you know, we give significant grants. There's grants for electric vehicles, there's grants for retrofitting your home, but I think we won't be able, if we just rely on individual grants, we won't be able to achieve the delivery. So a big challenge here is how are we going to scale that up? We envisage, for example, that the number of sustainable energy communities, of which we've now 300, needs to at least be 5 times that number by the end of this decade. So we need to see communities buying into this challenge. And it was very interesting to see that the Arid Islands, for example, won a major award where they have become an island that is sought to minimize its use of carbon emissions and also keep down its generation of waste. So it can be done where communities commit. So I suppose that's just to give you a very broad outline. The very last thing I'd say is that this is an existential threat to our community. This is a change that challenges life as we know it. And there's an absolute obligation on us to respond to this. But the positive thing that I'd say, and if you read your history, you'll see, it has been times when societies have faced existential threats that they have been able to rise to their highest levels of both creativity and collaboration. And I think we can look forward, if we take on this challenge, to a society that is better adapted to the environment around it, better, healthier in its practices, cleaner air, warmer homes, and a better community spirit built around the endeavour that we need to take on as a society to meet this challenge. I'm particularly heartened that the new European Commission has set this as their very top agenda item. I think Europe has struggled in recent years, particularly through the years of austerity, that the vision of its founding fathers, which was creating greater unity of purpose, where strife had been the feature of the European experience in the last century. That vision has been lost. But I think in this challenge, we can see a recovery of that vision as we seek in Europe to mobilize not only our own people, but a wider global commitment. And we've seen, unfortunately, that some countries are sliding back from their commitments. I believe that Ireland, working within Europe, can create the momentum that this becomes a really strong, unifying purpose across our communities, both locally, nationally, and a European and wider global level. So there's huge stakes here at play, and I would sincerely appeal to people to take this really seriously, get behind sort of planning that we have. There'll be people who say we're not ambitious enough, if we can go faster we should, but we now have a plan. It has been overseen from the very heart of government. It is the Secretary General of the Department of the Taoiseach who is overseeing the implementation of this. I think, as the Americans would say, if you fight with the President's teeth, it does make a difference to implementing and delivering on the action we've committed. So I'll leave it as that. Thank Ellen for giving me the opportunity to say a few words, and thank you for coming. I look forward to